Club Golita Silsel Beklad, ilatan mo Marcel talk show ra PNSB Palau National Scholarship Board. Together okya kayo ngatial studio al tasil so bangila Mori, halabak mo yung sanga Mori belum ura program dol mo. Golita Silsel Mori.
Ngilita Silsel Spy kumal masulang adra ngarel belan maral ol ko nga kamam magi di may o talk show. Tiang mo mang number 6. I think it's number 6 al talk show mo mang last al talk show ra internship ra elal sa mer. Aw era do mo ule di bo kum ter man ngartiang mar other office mar board members di bo kudar sa susur kamam. Ma kote di kudar sa susur kamam malmura atanga kal president surang al Whips Junior. Edire kal kudar sa susur kamam malmura atanga kal vice president udu sa ngabaw senior ma members ra cabinet. Aktire kal malodar sa susur kamam malmura senate president Hawkins Paules marogul senators. Madire kal speaker Sabino Anastasio mar Rebecca delegate. Aktire kal di modar sa susur kamam malmura ibudul maraklay marubukul belaw madire kal bilung maebi raklay maramasil belaw. Selma mungulbong likutar sa susura malmura governors, mar speakers, regal pekal state traveler belaw. Tamal masawlar leaders regi dra ko ready regi la balwatra belaw. So nga kang clear mo isang utoy nga student network specialist sel office regi dra Palau National Scholarship Office. So I've been coming to the station nalop titirtiragi del group of interns etiragi del ba moreng certificate alsis tira nga mo the last group ra interns al summer. So there's 2 4 6 college students ba moreng certificate lang tira nga 6 out of 29 recipient sel award ito mo kadong musting Palau Fellowship Award. Tel Palau Fellowship Award as a recipient as a PNSB hara watika tertiragi del college student del Merbelao a total 8 weeks al sesel 8 weeks sa PNSB viral award tertira 400 del bi-weekly stipend throughout the 8 weeks, and then they get to choose the musitorio regi loader apasyon niya related del morsel major tira school. So tirakagi del ngarter elalsil sa kupodo ring certificate tuk mo share regal experiences certificate elal samer madire kal core experiences certira kukto school makpay mo idi amay gan mortir matmo der start tidel introduce certira katumo mo ala.
Hi, my name is Dilip Almira. I'm from Morar. Growing up, I went to Maristela Elementary School and then on to Medzenti High School. Right now, I'm currently a senior in Eastern Oregon University studying sustainable communities.
Okay. My name is Oren Kikoa. I'm from Warbeth, Koror, also from Warar and Belilio. Growing up, I went to Koror Elementary School, and I also went to Palau High School, and then moved on to PCC to get my Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts. Right now, I'm a senior at Eastern Oregon University studying English writing.
Ali malungili tasil sen mergi tarogoy tokobet sa kamin loreng sa kamamrara syo ma trigel ko masirti live nga ang klaka si Che ko lebrang mira. And to share a little bit about myself, I was born in Saipan and raised here in Koror, Palau. As a kid, I went to Maristela as well. My gagi dele Church Bears Elementary School for high school. Aknemo Bilmorakwa me attended Simon A. Sanchez High School, and then I came back to Palau and I continued high school. Graduated Palau High School and I majored liberal arts in Palau High School. In this October high school, I cook me matiging lasing so kato business. Excuse me. So I went on to PCC, and then I studied business administration. Graduated with my first degree in Associate of Science in Business Administration. I decided to say, so I'll pursue a bachelor's in field. So I applied to OU. So I am now a senior at Eastern Oregon University, and I major in business administration.
Ali malingili tasit sa mergi tarokoy nga angkla ka pilay na tamol and I'm from Akota Kablilyo tik mle ele makado rablu rairai nga kamrasku rairai and then I went to Palau Mission Academy and then after that I went to Michigan to attend Andrews University to pursue my degree in psychology. So right now I'm an incoming senior at Andrews and my major is psychology pre-med.
Ali malungili tasil sangkla ka ogi fringil rogit nga ka kote ka bulurang esar. Nga ka tilaw dara misentir sera 2020 kopi daul maktim na PCC maktilaw da PCC ra 2023 labababiling nga kara Associate of Science in IT elang yak no continue ra skula kara EOU elma senior LIT management ta major nga.
Ali yang klara saito nirang wuti akpui gram dalai le high school ramit senti gore muskura EOU musuba economics.
Alright. Kamral masulang nga introductions. So ako talaga lekor kami wase kami le audio reger al summer and taamle supervisor kami and what are the daily tasks that you were able to do like every day sel opam morior. Maybe we can start with Saito open me.
Elang orior Bureau of Budget and Planning yung Ministry of Finance. Supervisor nga ka Muriel Sinsak. Or the collect data regal economics rablu helpel ultov regal babi report
Nga ka malmlangal tanga talam na sa ekal mawir Palau Community College under Computer Services Division. Director ka ma'am Bruce Rimir ya immediate supervisor nga ka Chabana ya elngi systems analyst comment. Direct kami professor nga karak nga sko PCC through our connections sa sa kalawya labangel Miguel Coratas ka ma'am gimaru rape kalsil nga kami computer technician sel alik ulang ma sinchihi ka troubleshooting sa technical support and mar adal nga niya reports sa til kaya issues sa network agidere ka rotate the computers sel upgrade manage again local devices connected al mora a school network.
I did my internship at Teklal Hospital Give. So I worked within the Division of Behavioral Health and Human Services. Last month, I spent most of my time at the outpatient office with the doctor. Supervisor nga Dr. Sylvia Wali and Dr. Constantin de la Cruz. This past month, I spent most of my time shadowing Dr. Doing home visits and jail visitations. And also, I would shadow him when he goes to his meetings and trainings. And then this month, since school started, I'm doing health screening with the other prevention unit.
For my 8-week internship, na-apply mo intern na Palau Conservation Society. And the immediate supervisor nga, Nicole Mai, also known as the I, and the I manager sa program PCS, Cell Administration and Development Program. And she's also a finance officer organization. And some of the daily tasks that we've been working on, I've been working on a project together with my colleague who is also a fellow intern at PCS. Her name is Dilklum David. Itel project rama assign nga supervisor rama recreate the website PCS through Google Sites. And other tasks that I've been assigned to do is like since fiscal year PCS is approaching, an annual audit is due. Makti shadow rang kay kidali supervisor nga while she's preparing some of her works for the audit. So, thank you.
Yes, currently I'm interning at One Reef under Amadan Sarngirangas, who's the Director of Operations. Some of the tasks that I am working on is assisting in the narrative aspect for a concept proposal with Hato Obe Women's Association. And I've also been doing research on literacy policy practices in Palauan language. I also participated in a mangrove campaign for World Mangrove Day, where One Reef, in collaboration with many government and nonprofit organizations, arranged trips to mangroves for fifth grade public school students. Thank you.
So for my internship site, I'm working with Polaris under David Idib, who's the senior GIS analyst. I've been tasked with the watershed delineation project aimed at identifying areas in Babaltab where water accumulates. So the watershed delineation and stream layers I developed using the ArcGIS Pro software have been completed and are now available on our newly published website for public access. These layers will also be used in the land use project to help pinpoint potential water sources for the states. Additionally, I'm currently engaged in a suitability analysis for the state of Ngiwal, and in this project, I'm using the ArcPro to determine the most accessible, cost-effective water sources for the subdivision, with infrastructure such as roads and power poles and water layers as criteria.
Thank you all. Elasem mukor amda suigal tokol plam subra school. Do you think sabi will apply the knowledge you've learned in school al maregal lurir al murur el al somewhere?
Okay, so yes, I definitely feel like I was able to apply the knowledge that I gained in school during my internship. So working at Polaris allowed me to directly use what I learned in university, particularly in technical aspects of land use and planning. I also engage in hands-on tasks like watershed delineation and creating maps, which helped me connect my academic studies to real-world applications and enhance my understanding of the field.
I definitely applied some of what I learned in some classes from EOU. For example, I was able to incorporate some of the ideas from literacy policies that I read in the States into my own way of thinking about Palauan language. For example, how all languages should be held at equal standing rather than one over the other. I also took a small grant writing seminar, which helped a lot when I was helped drafting this concept proposal for Hatobe Women's Association.
So yes, I was able to apply the silubra in the College of Business at Eastern Oregon University, from public speaking to small group communications, about workplace diversity, my organizational behavior, my importance of deadlines. It really applies to the real world. My research, and how to find the reliable sources. I got sources that pick whatever you like and get them saying I got sources are reliable, are they trustworthy, ma credibility ringi, and are they relevant, also then you have to look for other sources. When examples working on the website that I give the PCS, kung mas information that's on the website, we are whatever information there. For example, ngayon sa section na species, and I get endangered species, critically endangered species ra sige el page ra PCS, ang aigang klela aigang species nganya klel tokora mrigel. Also there's the scientific name, igal scientific name sa partners PCS amne partner BBR partners waya Pickrick Mamefa blel partner up together okore magigid information magida reliable sources o close pe okore magigid information na malo ara website.
knowing the knowledge that I've learned in school was really helpful because it made my internship a lot easier. Like I said, I shadowed the doctor during the beginning of my internship. So when salaveli, like a type of disorder or a type of medicine, like he didn't have to explain it to me because I already knew what it is and what it does. So yeah.
Akmaldi agwil laban traro kul adult masaygal da sobra school na akmaldi lecture sa mga da ado 9 months. Di ngatel lo tal mebel logyog tal internship and sa put these learnings into practical experience. Igidal ako nga alad agila dal mom nga igal unique challenges sa Rablo Belaw. Masada nga igal loli sa akli kada malme multik masem makarang abol fit igal ko problems sa rigid makarang provide a solution and margaidan ko unique problems sa rigid Rablo Belaw. So I'm very grateful at mase akngara school e maso disek prepela ang unique challenges sa rigid makarang akru legal السبلاغ المصب solutions المرا for instance تلقوك workplace رنا
Oi, direct municipal ospegel silubira school mertel rior. Wa ak ditira office to tagal like reported tira wa CPI ma PPI ma IMTS team na mo tinga masegang makarang.
Okay, may lasim ko the certain experience ra kami. What can you say has been the highlight of it all?
So the highlight of my internship has been working in a positive and supportive environment that fosters both my personal and professional growth. At Palau, I've had the chance to engage in hands-on work and apply what I've learned in university to real projects, and this experience has allowed me to connect my academic studies and practical applications.
I'd say some of the highlights of my experience had to include World Mangrove Day, where I got to work with children, which is really nice, and also meeting with Hato Bay Women's Association. It was really nice getting together with them and then talking with them about some of their goals. I also really enjoy the small group meetings that I have with the One Reef members because I am very shy as a person, but they've all been very nice and understanding of my shyness. So it was really nice working with them too.
Okay, to talk about highlights, I would say every day is a highlight for me at PCS. Every day I spend at PCS is a highlight. I look forward to go to work every day. There's always something fun to learn. There's always something new to learn. Akmar lagi because supervisor kamam PCS supervisor kamam interns sa PCS mis kamam mate ala sa amel explore and move freely around regel for programs sa PCS, which is there's outreach and communication manager say header katabangang ngangi ako conservation and protected areas said program ko manager ngiya Lolita Gibbons, and then there's policy planning and practice program and local manager ngiya umay Basilius mategi del program supervisor nga karadi ay el tegi del administration and development program. So I really like going to work every day. Like the highlights happen every day.
Yeah, I really can't choose or pick one because I really do also look forward to going to work. Every experience that I've had, I've learned something from each of them, from working with older people to working with middle-aged to working with children. So I would say every day is a highlight. Like there's highlights every day.
Direct mazak sabi kal choosling PCC direct masing family nga kalinga ka ulmo ratay nga karsing etamal supportive. I've made good friends, I've made good connections with my professor. Tamal supportive and giving me this opportunity to intern with them. It made me so happy. One, I came back home. Two, I'm working with them. I know them. They know me. So they gave me all these projects. Altang ko karamlam kikaret project tal murul inventory ra computer a school lang ngalik taing it made them realize like masing there's so much undocumented devices and so much money being lost, and me being there just doing this small project, I helped them realize that they need to do something. So akmal mi nga suliling ay kay get man mi karel task altang dim la kalamda sa mom role, but me being there lokoram na free up Palau their tier help per tier realize ay kay gidal baby rat ko el takadamda sa pekal sa arura tier el mo aware erula kal mo ngila ngo kalangan yak really el mara school tara apala community college.
Highlight na internship di sa kana office di mas ar adlaw your or la appreciate it you say takes a lot of people to do the job.
Thank you. So ila from highlight deruk move on al mura learning. What have you learned throughout the experience you as an intern, or what skill have you been able to improve on during your internship?
So throughout my experience, I've discovered that there's a vast amount to learn about the various stages involved in land use and planning. Additionally, I've found that I enjoy technical aspects in the field, such as creating maps and supporting decision-making processes. Also, because sometimes I deal with large data sets, I've learned a lot about troubleshooting and file organization.
Through research, one of the things I learned about is Palauan language literacy policy gaps in Palau, such as the dissertation by Yoko Okayama, a study that talks about the implementation of language learning since World War II. I read a thesis by Kiblas Yalapso Aladab about rethinking education in Palau, which talks about the role of traditional knowledge in school and private settings. And I also learned about preserving Palauan language through language policy by Eke Lali Ramongsao and among other research papers. And it was interesting to see how Palauan as a language took shape when, unlike a lot of other languages, Palauan written history is less than 200 years old. So we rely mostly on oral history practices, and most of our language cultivation comes from cultural practices and storytelling. So one of the main things I learned while working at One Reef, though, is that a lot of achievements are done through community effort. So we've done a lot of community work, like the Mangrove World Campaign, and it was really great seeing a lot of these people come together to achieve all of these things.
Okay. For me, at PCS Etel project on the website, nilearn na importance sa gagidale website may social media platforms. I serve as a space for communications between the organization, my members, my potential donors, my adrabuay. Idira kal helper the organization and spread awareness ma algirela missionary tier, and it also serves as a good tool for fundraising, like make pages for donations, spread how do we say that? Spread news about fundraising campaigns, and also tell people about other ways to support the organization. Yeah, that's one of the things that I learned that the internship.
So even though there's still like that stigma against mental health, I learned that Palau today is really progressive. When I first went to behavioral health, I didn't know about all these other units under it that most of them are new. Some of them have been there. But I was really happy to hear about all that. And I also learned how members of behavioral health are also they're trying really hard to be advocates for it, and they're also trying really hard to spread awareness on these things. And that's something that I learned that I didn't really know about until I got here.
Malbato ka silo brawela kanding diswa kalmo mention na tultukoy ako ta documentations. Ngotel important ta Adolo sa rogul records and marababier, especially selbol nga niya transition rar the malubang kuk mga niya PSL staff, malubawan na staff resign, nga niya babier layout tiger rogul informations regarding rogul tokoy, especially tokorak networking computers, agak mal important talad so kumungkuk retarawan ra IT, malubang resign, nga niya kuk next IT sabel may continue on the work. Ongerong mal silubi customer service ang rokol di kakaros menggira dan mamdu lawyer laban ter especially sel da sengalngi issues sa computer nga kangarangklen sel bebil na ro der di computer ngi ngul mek mase o tedim lengil matamal nga ka momring el malbade bakak maset yang amil garar web tengar ngi amil gasak menggira kan berungi. So it's kind of a magic that I have to learn how to navigate and ask the right questions and mansabekal help para other resolve right ngidil issue ngi.
Imoratoyak silubira relega pulgulaigal report ma data collection ra tel office la sakara school la ay agora assignments with the practice munda ra tutlel di sak ora office musuwagal tutlilagal report.
Okay, Kamral Masulang. I think that's all the questions in regards to the internship. Ila kaduk move on al mura gerel girel la school. So first question na ako si kau ka ngara school ra gerel al time ngara major raw, and how did you decide on which school to go to and what field of study to study?
Okay, so I'm a senior at the Eastern Oregon University, and I chose EOU because it was the most affordable, and it was also the fastest path to earning my bachelor's degree. So before enrolling at EOU, I worked at the Office of Planning and Statistics on the Ocean Accounting Pilot Project, and the Office of Planning and Statistics is part of the same bureau as Polaris, which handled GIS components of the project. And during this project, I was introduced to GIS and discovered its importance to Palau's development. And from there, I developed a deep interest in the work. So with the encouragement of the Polaris staff, I shifted my major to sustainable communities, which was a significant change from my original interest, which was psychology. So my current major focuses on helping communities achieve a balance between economic and social growth while managing natural resources sustainably. The experience with OPS and the guidance from Polaris greatly influenced my decision to pursue this path, aligning with my passion and its relevance to real-world issues.
So currently I go to Eastern Oregon University, which is in La Grande, Oregon. It's a small rural town. The reason for choosing it is because I wanted to choose a university that was, first of all, within a good budget range. I also wanted to go to a place that people I knew and trusted would recommend. And I also wanted to have some level of independence, but at the same time, I didn't want it to be too big, so as not to be too overwhelming when I go to the States. And EOU fit all of that. Currently, I am an English writing major. That stems from me loving to read, and with that comes hand in hand with wanting to write. I'm very shy by nature, but with writing, I can write whatever I want with no reservations. At the same time, I like the way writing and language is used to persuade, convince, and influence people. So I wanted to go into English writing, which dives into a lot of branches that goes into that topic.
Hello again. So I'm also a senior at Eastern Oregon University, and I major in business administration. And I'm choose EOU because it accepted most of my credits. Sa check and 100.5 credits ang nga PCC, I'm nasa transfer mo. So aktitilo junior, nga o nga lang ako sige sel walda kal san man mo kamang talta aroy dara nga ligek. So that's one of the main reasons why akmara EOU. And are we talking about why I chose this field?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the reason why I chose business administration specifically is because of the career opportunities it offers. Business administration na cover finance, marketing, and accounting, and those are the fields I'm interested in, choose gidel major nga. And yes, thank you.
It's a bit complicated, but to sum it up, it was definitely a God thing. When I was a senior, this was 2021, so it was like when COVID was still fresh and a lot of countries were still on lockdown. I really wanted to go to Seoul National University, which is in South Korea. But then, unfortunately, when I did my application, they told me that they were actually closed. And they told me that, you can wait until next year. And I was like, I cannot wait until next year because nga kasokon mo doktang, and I calculated the amount of years of study. I don't want it to take that long. So I started looking someplace close to home because I wanted to be close to my family. And I really didn't want to go to the States because of COVID. But then at the end of the day, after a lot of challenges that happened, I was a senior at that time, and the principal told us to go to the chapel, and it's something that they do with seniors. They tell us to apply to apply to 3 SDA schools for free. And Andrews was one of the choices because it was the first one on the list, so I just picked it randomly. But then after a couple of challenges that happened that summer, I became sure that that was where I wanted to go. And Serakbong, I was biology pre-med was my major. But then after my first year, I sat down and I was like, this is not something that I enjoy. And the only reason why I chose biology was because of the MCAT. So I thought if I major in that, it would make MCAT a lot easier for me. But then I decided to do psychology because of my personal experiences and also from what I've seen in my community and what I wanted to do to contribute to my community. And what was the other question? Yeah, okay.
Waigel tilong nga kam ne graduate ra PCC IT ra spring 2023 mo kanya mara IOU di continue off ra a major nga. And we're so lucky because IOU di kam na start ra IT program ring I think 2023 di kam na start ring. So akmil sangal as the best option for me ling waigel dilong ako li about 100 and something el credits nga kara PCC amne accepted ma IOU, so I said why not bayot na aral edira ka nga niya dir bela low you're saying el akmadi masing kadangara klol belo nga bar de kada mtuon navigate the system sa nga bar deling ay maklol belo e maklol school ito kara adering yang kadim le etikal mo ngal di mo tara o urak mas ong kakuk tiwan ra adal may parta diversity plan ra schoolam going there ngani other belawal mal push egal pressing issues el gidal other belaw maloba the islanders a face akman mi reassure ngak masekpong I'll be in good hands. So na reassure other public masekpong akaltmok la ngungil basukan nga adal sep elon nga sir nga kapok wangrang but ang dekal sokal turay gain sokal get out of my way and do things on my own but sige nganya adal ngarsel mo ngusugid ada makasakle it's a growing community ra islanders madira makasar islanders ringil compared to some major cities ra Palau American. So yeah, it's still a good environment for students to go and study. It's a rural community. There's nothing much to do other than study, maybe hang out with friends.
Nora Eastern like sa loga high school ada obliga man me encourage ngal mo to the mo subra school college akno sa economics le sa kerek ti omes ngal ang nga kasmir el nula rele kramle interested.
Thank you. So, ilan mo ko ra da surtel temil nga ra school. What do you think has been the most challenging part of it all? And maybe you can also tell us like how did you overcome those challenges?
The biggest challenge for me I guess it's learning to take care of myself and finding my own motivation. Because back here in Palau, I'd care for my siblings, and so I'd have to wake up every day knowing that I need to get the kids ready for school, and I would try my best in work, knowing that I have to provide a supportive and safe household for them. So, but in university, it's just me, so I had to figure out how to focus on myself and make myself a priority, and that's something I'm still working on. So, yeah.
Most challenging is definitely feeling like I have to act or talk or present myself a certain way to be taken seriously. Being an English writing major, it is a predominantly white field. I remember this one time in a grammar class when I was grouped with two other classmates where we had to diagram a sentence. My group mates barely talked with me, rather they talked with each other, and I just said my input so I could contribute something to the group. And when our professor regarded my answer as the correct answer, they still didn't acknowledge me, and they just acknowledged each other. So what that did to me is I had to be more aggressive and more competitive than I usually am. That's not who I am. I'm not usually confrontational, but I feel like I have to be in order to be taken seriously by them. And what I also learned is that where am I? I also felt like I had to change my personality in order to fit in with these people, and I have to adapt to their culture when they had no idea what mine is or where I'm even from or where Palau even was. So I learned to deal with that through reminding myself I'm there as the same reason as everyone else is there, and that's to get my education. And I enjoy writing just as much as they do. And I was able to make actually some really good friends there, in some of my classes. A lot of them, most of them have been very nice actually. So I didn't have much of a problem. It's just a very few occasions when that happened. So I was able to go through most of my classes very smoothly.
Okay. For me, one of the most challenging things that I encountered sa Idrakpura EOU is being away from my kids. And the akne mga tato ara baby are cook adra bligan ne say the time ra cook bolkira Miguel and they told me to say ang ramong e mama di nga dengwa e nga gale the bus dakal sa VM limited that time da ado ra dengwa e da kami samdala el altam e mama tira milu sa letters omongi agal tanga mira adra bleeding. It takes them weeks and weeks or months, yeah. And then the together all the time. We have video calls. I mean, yeah, I can't hold my baby or baby but there's still babies to my eyes. And physically hug them and everything, but we can do air kisses, and yeah, that really helped. Video calls and wana challenge face ringira akngar say tagidel lulor nga dili sagidel waldi mogid yedro siga motivation ergideling tagidel akngar bela wesel kedra nga kangalgek akoramal boss lady, and I know what I'm doing and I'm independent and all esel dilbal dilnga akora feel lurid. But the minute or that second ta angalgek nga akoramal feel okay, I'm back on my game, tight job. So yes, say the cook patingin nga saying say the mga orang ngaligek I say the constant communication, it helped me through that. Another challenge tirakal tagi the manage nga mandaktik sidetrack or akti magarokal marula pagpatingan la toy all at the same time, because I like to multitask so kaldi marula pagpatingan la toy mantigin la say sel poktong oklikerli a checklist nga or organize ra uspe ra planner nga sige damal mle helper nga. So if you're like me kadalasan mal sidetrack di mo karokle mo ka toy may makatong okala lang and you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe try. It will take time get used to the task list, the checklist my planner, but it will help. It just takes time.
Oh, when I think about challenges, I think about my freshman year. I would definitely say first year is always the hardest. It's when I took that step outside of my comfort zone, and then I went to a place that was halfway across from home, and also considering the fact that right now I'm the only undergrad that other Bela Marseille, so that definitely had its own challenges, becoming independent, and also immersing myself in other cultures and other communities. One thing that I believe in is like without either one of either, if you don't have either God or a village behind you, you're gonna struggle really hard because things get rough, and if you don't have that support system with you, like it's gonna get even worse. So I'm really glad that even though through the challenges that I had and being out there on my own, I found myself a family there. I also found myself a community there. My friends and the people there who adopted me, I'm really grateful for them because they became my support system there. Because for me to call home every day was not an easy thing because so to call home, and I can't do that because I have 7 a.m. classes. So that was very challenging, and finding my family over there and my community there was very helpful.
Agel ko koram na challenge na kara school adapting to a new environment kada small ko radi kasi be margare kada ko marablo kada ko kasi pending adi isyak la tabila dal ko na madray koram na magedal mi tawa lotion, those little things that we don't really have to do it here. Malmutra chopsticks ngatil nga bela da kungita brother lang kan disek ngar sensual matiu so getting used to a new environment, let's say nga class, everybody looks the same. Di talaga ako different. Mungkin mamdul adapt always ready ko answer a question na adak masaka ko adar kaya kamlari kaya may ngaraun makangartya. Malmutra amarul kal sa likak po alam masara adar abli kan marul akal makpasela sa para school akmado makaramal المايقال كالغدال لاغال الميق مسي oh man دي قاتيتي ملا it's a thing that you don't realize like masing when you're home your parents are with you, they provide you with everything ispak sa diblege obrabla nga nya kal stop our family sirga me all thing rabla masak nga school aktere kal mosabisi masal baby lagi open na asmara awa ko li ame migikuk marulagan lo amor kosa kadas maung syuka nga rigid other be lawal met mage marulaga gid al mikal tokol together.
I say open na asin mala ka mga kadimo.
Dia kang may seng syuka nga rigid ya kuk tanga nga ba ko ko small digid al mismo kara talang akle digid al mga double set mal karo sa syuka nga rigid ma ada merigel so say da ko koram na challenge nga mas magarang adapt tel mora syuka nga ada nga part but still maintain my identity as a Palawan.
Imora challenge na experience niya talagang cold sa winter or daksal used to it di sweater marol sa winter di makaras also ko di mo na color say di masawla if ma talyak rumnay.
Right, thank you. So to follow up on that, ngara ko kuramle positive experience kami or what has been like a positive thing about going to school?
So one of the most positive experiences has been meeting people from diverse backgrounds. So not only did I connect with the other Palau students, but also through the Island Magic Show during last spring. We had the chance to learn some of the dances from the neighboring islands and explore their culture. And then we also had the opportunity to participate in an alternative spring break program, which was a 1-week camping trip where we hiked through some national parks and monuments in California, Idaho, Arizona, and Colorado. And then during the trip, we also had a chance to meet members from the Hopi tribe who shared some of their cultural arts and way of life with us. So, yeah, that was an enriching experience.
I definitely say going to UU definitely forced me out of my comfort zone, which is something I actually did need. I joined the Summer Bridge program last year. It's like a 2-week course that before university starts that really helps you settle into life in the Grand. And it really helped me in my transition to the States. And also, even after the program was over, they reached out to me in order to speak on behalf of my Summer Bridge experiences. So because of that, I was able to travel to a lot of different places for conferences. For example, last year I went to my first conference on community writing in Denver, Colorado. And then this year, I was also part of the spring break trip with Dilly. Summer Bridge was the one who helped arrange that. With me, Dilly, Okif, and Koli. We went on the spring break trip to the Southwest, which is really fun. And I also, a week after that, I went to another writing conference in Spokane, Washington. And then just the end of May, I went to the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity, which was in Hawaii this year. And there's another one next year. So we're working on making a project to go to that one next. I've just been like a part of a lot of opportunities thanks to the Summer Bridge program and also to a lot of support there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, every day is a highlight. I think I would say a favorite part nga going to Eastern Oregon University. I'm in love with the snow. I love the snow. I mean, of course, first rakpong nga dim na ko tingin la say snow dim musori morer bebul or kokora o sak sa kamara nga melte motigim sa oim. So after setting myself mo shoes o gloves comfortable. Yes, I enjoyed the snow as much as I wanted it. I said one day I'm going to bring my kids and we're going to play in the snow together. I don't want to cry. Okay, so another highlight, oreng madili, the spring break trip or tel spring break trip adira kalmlong it's how do we say this it's a course schoolam, so you earn 2 credits enjoy 7 days away from campus, and we traveled out of Oregon. We went to Utah, Arizona, and
It's free.
and it's free. It's free. We went rock climbing. I touched the cold, freezing river of Colorado.
We went camping for the first time.
Yes.
For 3 days.
Third night, kasi oren. Can you please cover me? Mga tabadital extra blanket. Nga hanggang number 1 na ada sa kay sige da. Oh, traka provide ay kay dali. Sleeping bag man da to tala blanket talubak mo kasi oreng mga ato ko kay nga kasel maral alim ko. Iway maral makaras mo. Also, the Island Magic event, Island Magic, namo 5 years. It was since COVID. Say last Island Magic, hosting students sa EOU, the Navigators Club, we say Tagi the year, ginaplan nila say let's bring it back. Kamamaro ko the first time, kamam more experience at Tagi the Island Magic with all the planning and everything. Nga kasarak pong okif ngaringi yo say. He's the president of Navigators Club. Ang adira kal already na member of club and the kamle makatatal aroy the school mo nga wasay. Dakal samal mo committee chairperson na nagagidali performance committee makasi okay makara din ka kasi dangal ako ra di mo nga saying tasan malay alubet ya. It came with other things was saying gira kalmot o seta masubal was saying makarado together other may torwat ang sorin maloy ngaral room sa available ra campus sa very low spe eringi With the help ra the officers sa Kamamar Navigators Club, ma-support ra the roommates ra nga kadili maoreng no sa maman hut makli tagidan ay planning or sa event, and I would say that's a highlight taling ako ra akmal happy lesem na sabi akal ka experience away sa role, how to actually put your leadership skills into work and then watch it grow. Yeah, there's more highlights and thing to get them so.
One thing that I learned when I got there is that the school Ngaringi is actually ranked as the most diverse school in the United States. And it's something that they talked about that I didn't know about. But I was really glad because that's really positive for me because, I didn't feel left out because there were other students who were in the same journey as I was, like the Aroidra Bledir, the Aroidra Family Deer, and we were all there trying to get a degree. So within that, I found myself a community of diverse people, and that was really good for me because it was the support system that I needed to get by.
Ndirakal diswa kal kopa kal Mortel Island Matchik. Again, nakangarapisi various leadership positions sa ngaringi as a student. So, going to a bigger school, a university outside of Palau, no sabi akal mo vice president at the club, mga egal leadership skills na kal kal apnar say. I am so glad that I had an amazing team behind me. Collie was one of them, and I really try to utilize their skills. Like her, she's good with planning. I really try and ask her, like, can you manage this stuff? And again, I'm really proud of them. They really helped me a lot. And making an event, a big event, Rabalura Mirigel, it's a huge thing to me, and that's a really milestone sa laklanganga because doing something outside the Bella, it blew my mind. Must say we made it happen. Awakoli mlora sel alternative spring break yang kadimlak per sel trip akuk na-decide mo Portland dan mo attend the Pacific Island Students Association or Alliance, I mean. Emlo sa ekal meet rabebi ar Micronesian Pacific Island students sa nga raskura Portland State University, Oregon State University, West South Oregon State University, Askura, California, direct ng Botokar Pacific Islands, Washington. In that way, I'm not saying a network because I didn't even know that they're in these schools. And then I give say address I get challenges sa Pacific Islanders sa school and how to navigate them. So mga presentation by Miss Bini Moses Musub dalkok na iyo yulmong we're about 15 students and Pacific Island students and dalkok no attender sa conference kok masuba ay gel kok clothing and how to work around the US school system.
One positive experience na sirak mula figure out was professors na kamal available to sorely engage labang gila kumam students man may help nga like learn agal swable pass agal class le this well after a class meet a professor obviously or needle times well more obviously or a question.
All right, thank you. Well, ang mo plans kami after degree kami. You guys are all working on your bachelor's right now. So what's your plans after?
So after getting my bachelor's degree, the next steps will depend on familial responsibilities. So if circumstances allow, I would like very much to pursue a master's in urban planning or urban design in person, but if not, then I'll either get one online or pursue a master's when the time is right. Either way, I've been talking with my supervisor, and I definitely plan to start working at Polaris right after graduation.
Okay, so after graduate the next year, first kira kal chakal say arang alga katawarang sakal ko may mystery, and I'm debating and let's say should I stay back and then work, take that gap year and then work and then find myself during that time in Lurior before going into the master's program, or by May Orior and then malaringil online. But I prefer in-person classes. So yeah, it really depends. Alas ito mo warang ngaligya ma ako situation nga after graduation. And for master's program, I was hoping that I could pursue my master's in business administration or more finance, or business administration or concentration I get finance. So those are the things that I'm having in mind right now. Thank you.
For me, my plans after college is taking a year off to complete my clinical hours, because I still need to do that. But while I'm completing my clinical hours, I'm also gaining experience and also more knowledge, because I think that's critical for med school. And then after is going to med school. Yeah.
Tiang upload girl ko getting irangak every time ad o gerangak in this wall chance and sirangak leng swakal merbela undi kuk nam dangal lalay from rigels masenswa da liliak la mak masekuk perbela o makarabok liliak la esebel lawyer estat mismo kana lang akle aktirakal el kigadarak ngaras ko ngatidak first head start elementary high school mura PCC top da IOU unswakal nga 1 year break ko malara work experience nga or akmutan mara school na el all time mende ko tingay hindi akmal malas mal unswakal mal swakal merbelaw akmor gere mo ara hindi balur belaw balwa kaman swakal meringi ya ulak namna school ka tel tokora IT swakal nga sir balur belara tokora technological advancement travel one. So Telgera it's still open dira officially decided masek mamakarangi, but I still have a year left to think about it.
Hamral and surang after akong bachelor sa timom iwayo. Di umdasong amargyal di mo continue mo masters or may start lower your.
Okay. So kamukuram la o katamura school, or you're all in school right now, ngara ko raw ngil advice sa sabi will master kagi del ngalgar belaw lokora dire kalumtas wa apply mura skura outside ra belaw mura nga parta or ngipil care.
So yeah, starting college is both exciting and challenging. So my advice is to pick a path that really interests you and find mentors whose interests and visions resonate with your own. And it's also important to think about practical things like cost of attendance, program fit, and how it fits with your family needs if you have family obligations. Get involved with internships or campus events to expand your perspective and shape your career goals. And if your initial choice doesn't work out, that's okay, because your path might change as you learn more about yourself and your field. And then I think it's also important to remember that college isn't just about academics, it's also about personal and professional growth. So balancing your academic ambitions and personal responsibilities is crucial. So be flexible, plan ahead, but also give yourself the grace to adapt as needed.
If you hear coughing in the background, that's me, sorry. So my advice to anyone who wants to pursue higher education is to take any opportunity that is offered to them or any opportunity that they see. It's okay, like, excuse me. It's okay. It doesn't matter if no other Palauan has entered this opportunity. It's okay if no one else you know has tried out this opportunity. I would say the best thing to do is just go for it. If it doesn't work out, at least you know. But if it does, it'll lead you to so many other opportunities that you can take that'll further your career and any interests that you might have.
Okay, I'm the one who's been saying every day is a highlight, but I'm gonna be very honest. Okay, so this journey going off into college or 4-year university, there are gonna be days of achievement. There's gonna be good days, and there are gonna be challenging ones. So celebrate your success and learn from mistakes or failures. Take them as a learning opportunity. Whatever you do, always believe in your potential. Keep pushing forward and surround yourself with a good support group. And whatever happens, a good or bad experience, it's all part of the process. So value them. I am valuable lessons. That's my advice.
I believe in that phrase that I can't really recall it exactly right now, but it's something like "Lom sarang doesn't lead you to success, ntu'rang." And somebody said that to me many years ago during a speech, and I really kept that to heart. One advice that I'm gonna give is never give up. It's your ambition that's gonna take you to places. So every year, every school year has its own challenges, but the first year that's the hardest. If you can get past that, then you'll get past everything that you go through. Another thing that I would advise people, something that worked for me is prayers. But I understand that not everybody here is a believer, and that's okay. So if you don't have that, finding a support system that works for you is definitely needed. I believe that you are who you're friends with. So if you surround yourself with the right environment and the right people, it's going to take you to where you need to be.
Akmaldi agree and relate talmaragi rogum na akmong. Edi so kalaway sa masaso ko interested in mara school. I'm just gonna speak on behalf of EOU lang ka maorang overall mentor sa nga sira nga kara school bela well sorry mera schoolam. But besides EOU dire sa amal advice ak masem makarang apply to school in the first place. La selbabil kada mamro la college applications nga niya fee. Ngegi del fee adre sa elmo barrier nga kara school maulang apply. But there's always way to work around it. You can always send an email and ask them to defer it. Those kind of tips and tricks that people don't talk about, and we can do those workarounds. So also kung may interested in my school alakal EOU mal EOU, you can always reach out to us. We know the workarounds. There's so many many problems sa langal ka school encounter or at madak taloger manda ka daw ay sa matadi madak tanakal bra school lang. Yeah.
Advice I would give someone, mobat temem omdas, jam moret, jam rin toy mo, jam man lang inarangum, sabi bila life ako mo hectic, di bom soro di bom ilelak le, omdas, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Malungi legal advice ra kami kamran masulang. Last question. Taal adra life ra was swam recognize ngi dil adal la ngosugartel educational journey ra.
So there's a lot of people that I want to thank, but firstly I'd like to thank God for putting me on this path and for keeping me safe. A huge thank you to my family and friends, both at home and at EOU, for their endless love and support. I'd also like to thank the Polaris team. Special shout out to my supervisor, David Idip, and my mentors, Ophelia Ongalibang and Taka Emashol, for greatly influencing my personal and professional growth. Finally, I'd like to express my gratitude to PNSB for funding this internship, and your support not only helped me explore my interests, but also enabled me to secure a job and advance in my career. Thank you.
Yes, first of all, I want to thank PNSB for help funding my education and also giving me this internship opportunity. I'd love to thank the people at One Reef, Mother Sarnganangas and everybody else, Ngidor, Sunshine, Gilmer, Eliane, this is for you. I also want to thank EOU for being so supportive of my educational journey, giving me all the opportunities that I have now also. Most of all, I would like to give a shout out to my dad. He's the one who has been my biggest supporter in me going to college, and it's something that we've always talked about. And when I got my acceptance letter to EOU, he was one of the first people that I showed. And yeah, it was great. And he's been so proud of me so far. Yeah, so thank you, Daddy. Like, yeah, I love you.
Okay, so I have a lot of people to thank. Gidro ko in mal di beto ka adan mal so adan mga sulir lang. Dim na din nga kaltang isa ba make all of this possible. I'm trying not to cry. Sa ilo kanya dili mga sulir rubak. Nga adak po at church every Sunday. I'm working on it. Tanding I stay at home and sa pagtambok piwa yak malulu and all my prayers they're all being answered. So big thank you to the Lord and Manang Sulala PNSB and their team. Kamram Sulanya Mori for helping us throughout the application. Say arrange ay kay gidal babilang man most of may intern and also sa kanila sulala supervisor nga karadi ay along with the amazing mentors at tigal managers sa team na PCS. Thank you for making every day a highlight. And I also want to thank my mom, my siblings. Tiro will di no babysit at some point interactivus. Thank you to my husband, my ito, I love you. And his family for also taking care of the kids while I'm away. And thank you to my two kids for being my number one motivation every day. And yeah, thank you. Also, makulbasal mentioner kami. Just now, I'm crying among modaktong nga bato kandi ngakmal di ba nga sulod ako beser kami.
First, I want to thank God because when I look back at the past 3 years, I really cannot. There were days where I was contemplating switching my path, and without the faith that I had, I wouldn't have made it through. So I want to thank God. Another thing is I want to thank my family here in Palau, and also the family that I have back in Michigan. I also want to shout out to my parents here and my parents there. And every member of my family who have raised me with love and so much support. And I also want to throw a big shout out to my biggest supporter, and that's my grandma of at the Geli Olkaril. She's been my number one supporter ever since I started my path in college. And I also want to thank my friends from here back home, and also the friends that I made there. They also turned to be the community that I have there, and I wouldn't have made it through without all of these people.
You said everything I wanted to say.
Malsokal ngutel te alek malmena nga suler adrablik toko niya akron maranga who we call okasang late huna ko the long santos el ngi adrablik ak malmem asa lawyer yak understand daling girin mga tmokrada ng aklam ngi akuk tim na lawyer mang ngwaldira klun makaror nga mang akmal mena nga suler lesel alarngol 6 o'clock na tutara pek Sunday ngolgi sana kik maserungal kam kat maklaw kat marmisa kana 7 o'clock sige den za alarngol ra arubak kaldio sa awul sis akla kam mumlobla karang kukmu sel da alarngol kol kukmara to ra education awun mager rokul to kol guru akmal morset kuro babal الترا بس تناغ المرورني مقمل من غسولين نريق مال سوق من غسولين رقول آذ تغني بي سي سي التيراغوك من هوستة الانترنشيب رنغاق مرد رنغاق الشبانايا ما ali kama senchil ubiyar lo banteri rabe kesil sa mal betok abla lo sa aklag yakmal de mga sulir and I hope that agar rokul mga karel toko el guru la mal mga sutri ra aklo in the future yakmal de mga sulir and I hope I'll come back one day and return a favor mablo bela letapmal mga suka kara aklo in terms of education kamal masulang yamori mar other PNSB asuli wak maligi mobes ya ta club se selgi perbela wagi mo contribute te ko open na gagi dal opportunity sa mutal marang tokol ngal garbela maral meng sula
sol mga sulir PNSP ma ata plik ma rubuk ma rulle there's for shout out to Manu, happy birthday bro.
Alright, komral basa wala intern sa mla sabi iwal may makatukuk kaw story dim lay gagi dagger el kuk mla sabi el cover el alsils tiang amo mong last talk show el al summer with the tiragi del interns Mama diswa ka dingutal te al di mo orang asulir tikarol interns mar employer certir Emlo ko ngertir mata mo urala pantatrir el al summer 2024. Aktira ka di so kalorang asuli raro kul adam na sab iltun iner el al sid se oreng sa material loreng se kan na momre kal tok shorgi do komran masulang komran masulang ar adang el Palau. Asuko mangarnya kami will get tagi del Palau Fellowship Award malsab ildiam kadong nga kara 488-3608 or kom di email nga kara PNSB internship at gmail.com hindi na nga nga website ra ma'am www.pnsb.org ay garugul application sa internship may regular scholarship pa sabihin material say mamalsabil di mo go through igal applications more requirements sa sumanga kami welcome dire kal madam ko tong ra ma'am dim lay gayid tagi dawal sa TESOL summer portion or tagi del internship program nga ngani sel spring adedla na tagi del spring internship pa mo November 1st November 1st masuko mang komoreng se sumil apply or nga ligi well mom das set sabi eligible el ma program please have them communicate with me till email nga and then sa amal sa kalol nga certificate with the application form so that's it for today komran musulang makuk next